Once again, welcome. You know, when I started in the television business in Reno back in 1960, actually, and worked for KOLO Television. KOLO Television was owned by Donald W. Reynolds. And as I came to the Northern Nevada Food Bank today, I remarked to somebody, we never had a facility like this to have a television station. This group in Cherie, I think probably the last time I talked to you, it wasn't as elegant as far as a building, was it?
It was not hardly as elegant, believe me. We were in a very small, very old space, which accommodated our needs for about 18 years, but towards the end of it, it was getting pretty tight. And this is, in my lifetime, I never thought we would have a facility as big, as effective, as efficient, and huge capacity.
Where were you located before, Cherie?
We were on Packer Way in Sparks, and we're now in McCarran, Nevada, which is about maybe 12 to 15 miles east at exit 32 in the Tahoe Reno Industrial Park.
Area, which I had not been out here before, and this is phenomenal. And if you drive up to the food bank, the building literally will blow you away. It's state of the art, and I can always tell when it's state of the art when two things happen. When you walk into the restroom and the lights come on, and then when you turn, when you just put your hands under the faucet and the water is there, you know, that kind of thing. And Donald W. Reynolds did, in fact, through a grant of the Reynolds Foundation, and he did the Journalism School up at the University of Nevada, and granted you the money for this facility too.
That's right, and with the Reynolds Foundation and several community partners, including Redfield and Cord and the Barker family and Dermody Properties and a number of others who contributed significant resources, we were able to construct and equip this building. So it's not just the building, but the equipment that's in it and the ability to have expanded by a factor of 24 our cooler and freezer capacity. There's food that used to just kind of drive right by us that we couldn't accept, so to say, because we didn't have any place to put it, and now we do.
Cherie, what's the majority of your donation? Who do they come from? Just the general public, or from supermarkets in the area, or what?
Well, food donations, about 20% of our food donations come through Feeding America, our national organization. Used to be America's Second Harvest, and they are affiliated with national food manufacturers, retailers, wholesalers, and so forth, and we get a certain amount of food from them. But the majority of our food comes here through local donors, and that would include all of our grocery companies locally, Walmart Distribution Center, logistics operators like Osborne Hesse that distribute Ralston Foods, cereals, Gerber Baby Foods, Bush's Beans, and so forth. So people walk in and say, oh my gosh, where did all that food come from? A lot of it, 80% of it is here locally in this particular community.
And I know that you're always having drives through radio stations, the newspaper, things like that.
Right.
And that's got to be fantastic.
Probably, back in the old days, maybe 10% of the food we distributed came through directly from consumers or community members. These days it's a little bit different. We'll get about 300,000 pounds of food through that during the holidays and the Letter Carriers Food Drive, which is in May, coming up in May. And then, but this year, we've gone from 2 million pounds a year. This year we'll approach 8 million. Yep. And that's just because of our ability to hold more food.
When you read any kind of a national story about the needs of philanthropic organizations today, of course the whole idea is, or the gist of the story, it usually is there's a lot more need than there is the substance kind of thing. Are you finding that true here at the Northern Nevada Food Bank?
At our food bank and many food banks around the nation, Bob, the need is close to being able to be met because the community steps up. And we have seen that consistently. I've been here 21 years this May, and every time we see a dip in the economy and more people needing food assistance, our local donors and people who weren't already donors will turn to the food bank and say, we're giving you money because we know that more people need food assistance. We know you need to buy more food. We know that there are more people at the food pantries. When I first came here, we helped maybe 8,000 people just in Washoe County. Last year, we helped 90,286 different people, and that was before the worst of the recession had hit this past fall. So up 32% from the previous year as the economy began to decline. So we've had an increase in monetary donations, and we have seen more food, and part of the more food part is just because of the new building.
What is the criteria for people coming out here and actually receiving food?
Well, actually people don't come out and receive food because we're so far out of town. We distribute through a network of partner agencies, of which maybe 60% are emergency food programs.
Okay.
And lots of those are faith-based, little churches out in neighborhoods and out in rural Nevada. We have many direct service programs, including a mobile pantry that actually goes to underserved neighborhoods where there may be lots of seniors or families without transportation. We do that in neighborhoods where more than half the kids are eligible for free meals at school. And then we have our direct service senior programs, the monthly food box program, and our direct service child meal program.
So you truly are the food bank of Northern Nevada, no longer just Washoe County.
Oh, no.
Lovelock, Fallon.
We serve all of those places and more. We serve from the California border to the Utah border, and then from Idaho to down to about Tonopah. And then we serve little pieces of California on this side of the mountains that are more geographically close to us. So we cover about 80,000 square miles, and that in itself, as you can imagine, is a significant logistical challenge. We have 4 big 26-foot refrigerated trucks, and then we just purchased our first tractor trailer and some tractors that are out on the road bringing food to small communities.
So you are truly operating like a gigantic supermarket.
Well,
I mean, you're a smaller version of Walmart or something like that.
Well, we are definitely a regional food distribution center, and one of the key things that we're working on right now is ensuring, you might have heard the term food deserts. And a food desert is a place where there is essentially no supermarket. So we work hard to help families. The food bank can help meet the immediate need for food
Austin,
by putting.
Nevada.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good. That's a very good.
Walmart did not come. The only place in America that Walmart did not come to. Well,
there's
Austin,
nobody
Nevada.
in Oahe either. Not even
Hawaii,
in IG.
okay.
Yeah, there's lots of communities where. As we help people meet the immediate need for food by giving them groceries, we want them to get connected to the federal nutrition programs because that's more long term. And it is not, it's not federal welfare programs, it's federal nutrition that were established, decades ago to help folks who didn't have a lot of money make sure that they had enough nutrition for their families. So we'll get folks connected to what's now called SNAP. It used to be food stamps in the old days, the Supplementary Nutrition Assistance Program. There's no grocery store for them to go to that's clear, that's not 100 miles away.
Right.
So that's kind of some new strategic thinking that we need to employ, how to make those connections for folks. I don't know what it's going to take, but it's a significant issue for people out in rural communities.
Finally, Cherie, where can people donate? Can the average person in Reno, Nevada today take some canned food to where?
Absolutely.
Not going to bring it out here, obviously.
Some people do. You'd be
do they?
surprised.
Okay.
But right now, the Letter Carriers Food Drive is coming up, so that's a real easy way to do it. Leave it out by your mailbox on the Saturday before Mother's Day, and the mail carrier will pick it up. All year long, we have barrels at Sundance Bookstore out on Keystone and 4th, West 4th Street, and sometimes during the holidays, the public libraries and a few others, but all people need to do really is give us a call at 331-FOOD and say, where can I leave this in town? And there will be somebody that's happy to tell them exactly what those barrel locations are.
Cherie, great facility. You folks are doing an outstanding job, and we want to thank you. I know that this is your love, this is your passion, because you've been doing it
I've had
for so long. You really have.
I'm not sure that I could have as much fun doing anything else, Bob, so I'm happy to be here.
Our thanks to you on Channel 13. I'm Bob Carroll, and please join us next time for another hopefully entertaining and informative program on something concerning our local needs.